From Droitwich Salt Springs to Loch Lomond, a geography professor is using a millennium-old manuscript to hunt the UK's ancient and mythical features. Andrew Evans has found 26 fantastical features documented in an ancient book called Wonders of Britain, that was written by a monk between the 9th and 12th centuries. Many of these wonders, which range from a lake with 60 islands on it to a shape-shifting burial mound, have been forgotten or only recorded in legends. 10 years ago, the senior geography lecturer Evans from the University of Leeds stumbled upon this ancient text, while looking for a name for his eldest child. Since then, Dr. Evans has been traveling around the country, using this manuscript to hunt down and locate these ancient features. Some of them, such as Bone Well, Whirlyholes and the Roman-built baths in Somerset, can still be found today. Others, such as a story about a levitating altar, supposedly held up by the will of God, sound like they belong in the realms of fantasy. In the 2nd century BC, Greek writer Antipater of Sidon catalogued the wonders of the ancient world. His writings included descriptions of the ancient gardens of Babylon and the Great Pyramid at Giza. Since then, writers have made accounts of fantastical places, writes Sarah Lasko in an in-depth feature for Atlas Obscura. One of these such texts is The Wonders of Britain, which picks out natural phenomena and small miracles concentrated in the north of the country and in Wales. The author of the text was believed to live near the Welsh border, and drew his information from the Historia Brittonum, which was written by monk Nennius in around 829 AD. This medieval text was used by historians to understand the years between the late 300s, when Romans started to lose control, to the mid-800s. From the first descendants of Trojan refugees to early references to King Arthur, this text was once considered a reliable account of the history of Britain. Some versions of the Historia have the Wonders of Britain list tabbed on at the end. A manuscript at the British Museum says that few of these wonders are known today. However, Dr. Evans decided to map as many of them as possible. Some of them are active and still really spectacular, he said. Even some of the most fantastical wonders on the list had some grounding in reality, he said. Given that some of these wonders exist, chances are that all of them once existed. Dr. Evans says, whoever wrote the list appears to be trying to understand the strange things he'd seen on his travels. This person is genuinely curious about the world. And occasionally, the interactions in the natural world do throw up completely weird stuff, he said. Many of the places might today seem unremarkable, but in the past they could have been incredible. One example is Bone Well. In the 19th century it was well known for regurgitating bones of fish and frogs. In the Wonders of Britain, this spot was listed as a well from which the bones of birds are constantly thrown up. Today, the well is little more than a damp channel. However, among the roots there are a few delicate bones, which may or may not have been related to its macabre and magical past. Another item on Dr. Evans' list is the forgotten site of Leeds Uni, a whirlpool believed to be somewhere along the Severn, the UK's longest river. He had searched the banks of the Severn and lost hope of finding this mythical feature. However, in 2006, he was contacted by a stranger called John Nettleship. It's believed that his student J.K. Rowling had modeled Harry Potter's potions teacher Severus Snape on this eccentric character. He had read Dr. Evans' website, and emailed him saying he thought he knew the location of the whirlpool. Mr. Nettleship had described strange features, called whirlyholes, that used to suddenly empty, leaving behind dangerous sinkholes. Together, Mr. Nettleship and Dr. Evans managed to spot a likely location for this pool, which was believed to have diminished in the 1970s. It was near a village of Saerwent, and in 2008 the pair published their findings. This once incredible whirlpool today is just a field grazed by sheep. When I started engaging with early Welsh poetry again, one of the things that struck me was how much of British history has been wiped off the school curriculum, Dr. Evans said. On his website he notes that the Wonders of Britain act as pins, fastening Britain today to a hidden landscape of Dark Age mythology.